folks. I just thought I'd get y'all another update here on the Ram and the Cummins and the exhaust leak issue, and how the this other dealer is turning out so far. I'm still not going to disclose who they are just yet, but I will in due time. Anywho, as you can see, I'm back in my truck after being without it for a day, and it's always kind of odd when I'm without a vehicle for a day, which has been very rare thinking back on it, how many times that has been, but because I'm in this truck at least 2 times a day, every day, even on the weekends. I mean, at a minimum, I'm in this truck 2 times a day, because even on the weekends, I'm at least, if I don't go anywhere else, going to drive over to the farm and drive back. So that's twice right there. So I'm starting it up and running it twice a day at minimum, through the week and on the weekends. But anyway, it was just good to get back in it after one day. But anywho, so I've got the truck back right now. It is not fixed yet. But I got a call from the dealer, I'd say around 2 o'clock yesterday, and he told me they had found the leak, where it was, and they had actually found a TSB, which is a technical service bulletin, about that particular leak. He then went on to explain the process they used to go through sounded like pretty much the entire exhaust system looking for leaks, which I think involved probably a couple of different methods. I don't know if they pressurized the exhaust or not. They did talk about using a liquid substance that they go around different components of the exhaust system looking for that leak. But anyway, he told me they had found it, and he told me that they were going to have to order some parts, and once they got those in, that they would get those parts replaced, and hopefully that would fix it. And while I had him on the phone, I asked him about the white substance, the white powdery substance on the mat under the hood, the sound mat there. And he didn't have an answer for me. He told me he had talked to the mechanic about it, and the mechanic noted to him that they had been seeing that on several of the vehicles as of late. The newer models have been coming in, so he wasn't exactly sure, and our conversation then kind of went over to the parts availability, and when if I needed to pick the truck back up and whatnot. So he told me he was going to go and look at the parts and where they were, and see when they would have them, and then he would call me back, and we would discuss as to if I needed to go ahead and pick the truck up or leave it, or how that would unfold. So hung up with him. I don't know, 20-30 minutes may went by. He gave me a call back, and he said there's 4 parts they're ordering, and 3 of them were in Atlanta, so they would have them the next day, which is today. He said one of them was a ways off, and I think he said Milwaukee, and it would be 3 days plus out. So we basically both agreed that, probably just bring it back in. I go ahead and pick it up, which I did, and bring it back in next week when they have everything there they need, and just let them take care of that, hopefully all in one day. So as to the leak, I go through an intersection here. It involves one. He just said EGR valve. So what I always thought of is the EGR valve, I guess, was the valve on top of the clean air intake, right there above where the clean air coming from the intercooler goes into the motor there. If you don't know how the system works, you basically have an exhaust gas return. So right above the manifold, the exhaust manifold, is what's called a EGR cooler, exhaust gas return cooler, and it basically is a core in this rectangular square tube, let's say, that has engine coolant running through it, and then exhaust, raw exhaust, comes out of the manifold and passes through this cooler. Then there's a tube about yay big that runs around the front of the motor and over to the clean air intake side of the engine, where it pulls in that exhaust, and that somehow eliminates or helps eliminate some kind of emission. I don't know all the particulars from that point on, but over on top of that exhaust gas cooler is a little, looks like butterfly valve at the start of that pipe that comes around the motor. I've got another clip I've already took of me pointing those out. I'll attach to this video here in just a bit. But there is a butterfly looking, or what looks like to be a butterfly valve that is controlled by what I believe is called a servo unit that has a cable on it that actuates that flap. So I don't know if he's referring to that part, or if he's referring to the more solenoidal valve, I call it, that's over on the end of that tube where it meets up with the clean air intake there. So it's one of those two. I'll point out in the clip to come up here, or coming up, that the one that looks like it may be a butterfly type valve that's on the cable, I did see a little black soot just around the area, so I'm going to assume it's that one. But they're replacing one of those valves. There's probably some gaskets or seals there they're going to replace, and there's some sort of heat shield he said they were going to replace. I'm not sure where that, which, I mean, there's several, I guess, heat shields all up and down the exhaust system, but they're replacing one somewhere. He didn't go into any details on what that is. I don't know if it's one up around the valve, or one that may possibly get damaged when they replace that valve there. I don't know what all they got to remove, but my 08 Ram I had with the 6.7, you know, I've noted I've had issues with these emissions equipment before. That's why I'm so hesitant around it involving tractors and other diesel engines. So I have had all of those components. I, you know, have removed those components before and had them off of the truck. So I know what all they are, but I just don't know which one of the two he was referring to. But anyway, I'll add this this clip here going around the motor, pointing those out here in just a second. I've also got another clip I will add on to just after that, involving the white powdery substance under the hood on the sound mat. Like I said, he didn't have an answer for me on that first phone call, but when he got back to me and we talked about the parts availability and when I needed to get the truck, when I needed to bring it back, he said, oh, I did some research on that white powder on the hood. He said he got with the mechanic. Apparently they had their curiosity up about it. So he proceeded to explain what it was and why it was there, and give me some paperwork here describing that. So I will add that clip here to the video, and I will read that document to you so y'all guys will know what that is all about. But anyway, as to the dealer, as of right now, I know it's not a done deal just yet, but I'm very pleased. He's keeping me informed, and like I said, he went out of his way to get me an answer for the substance there under the sound mat. So I guess he felt bad that he didn't have an answer for me when I asked him. So he went and got the answer, so I'm glad of that. And also, since they're an hour away from work, there was concern there with they closed, their service department closes around 5:30, I think. And I knew my co-worker and I, the one that's giving me the lift, we probably would make it down to around 7. So he was more than willing to work with me to figure out a way to leave the truck there where I could pick it up after their normal hours. So that all worked out well. So can't say enough good things at this moment. I'll wait till these parts are in, I carry it back, and they actually get those on and hopefully fix the issue, and I will report back to you guys on the outcome of that, and if all goes well, I'll reveal who the dealer is here, so those of you in the area will know where hopefully a good, reliable dealer is that can work on the Ram trucks with Cummins motors. So anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned here on the video. I will add these 2 other clips right now. See ya. Okay, so here is the exhaust gas return, or EGR valve, one of the valves, from having taken one of these off before on my 08 6.7 that I had. There's like 2 holes in here, and a solenoid actuator, and kind of like a piston valve, if I remember correctly. But this pipe right here runs around over here, and there's another valve right here driven by this cable. I assume a butterfly valve in there, and it's controlled by this servo unit, I believe they call it up here. So it's one of these 2 valves, because all the guy told me was EGR valve, that is leaking. And they also noted a heat shield kind of piece that I don't know exactly where that is, but anyway, that's the 2 valves that I know of. Just back here is your EGR cooler, this piece back here, which has engine coolant, antifreeze that runs through there, that cools the exhaust gases down before they go back through this tube over here and up the air intake that is coming from the intercooler and then into the motor here. So that's the 2 possible problem locations. I don't think it's both of them, it's just one of them. and just looking right here, I see a little black soot right up under here, and it looks a little dark black right around that heat shield right there. So I'm not 100% sure which one it was from what the guy told me, but if I had to take a guess, it's around this one right here is where the exhaust leak is. But anyway, that's the two EGR valves that I'm aware of. Okay folks, so as for the white buildup under the sound mat, under the hood there, or on the underside of the hood, just to go over this document that I told you the service advisor gave me. This is a document here. The white buildup is not from urea or the diesel exhaust fluid, as some thought, and it's also not from the windshield washer fluid leaking from the nozzles or the hoses to the nozzles, say, that are up under that mat, between the mat and the hood. So what it actually is, according to this document here, is and they just call it a white buildup exists on hood silencer pad. It does not denote any particular vehicles or anything like that, and the release date of this document was February 23rd, 2016. So this has just, within a little over a month come out here. So anyway, I'm just going to read you here what this is word for word, and so you guys out there that are watching these videos and wondering the same thing, you'll know. So the discussion here is customer may notice a white crystallization buildup on the hood silencer pad. This buildup is actually MAP, M-A-P. It stands for monoammonium hydrogen phosphate, a fire suppressant added to the hood silencer pad. MAP is easily dissolved in water. When the hood is saturated, gravity may pull some of the MAP down onto the bottom surface of the silencer pad where it crystallizes. It then goes on to say, the excessive chemical treatment seeping out of the hood pad does not affect its performance in any way. To clean the silencer pad, simply use soap and water and wipe away with a towel. So don't say to hose it down. And then it says, after cleaning the surface on the silencer pad, it said verify that it no longer exists. It says if it does, other environmental conditions should be considered, such as road salt, fluid leaks within the engine compartment, etc. So that said, it makes perfect sense because I took this truck up north a few times this year in the salty conditions, and as soon as I got back with the truck each time, I opened the hood and took a water hose, pressure washer one time, and I went around the whole truck, underneath, the back, the bed, engine compartment. I hosed that mat down under the hood, and that's when that white powdery substance, or crystallization they call it, showed up on the hood. So just to clear that up, that's what that is. So there you go.